Hello, hello, hello. It is Angel Howard coming to you again. I haven't been on the videos in quite some time now. Had to recuperate from a short medical leave, but I am so thankful to be back talking with words of encouragement. I feel revived. I feel much better. I feel refreshed. And I would like to talk about a subject that I haven't talked about. As you know, my whole inspiration and passion, that is what inspires me the most, is family structure and building family relationships. That is so important to me right now. I never really knew how important it was to me until I got older. However, I've talked about Dads and Daughters. Dads and Daughters is a page that I have currently on my Instagram page. It is something new. It is something that I've been inspired to do. It is very passionate to me because of my story, because of my life. I'm currently writing a book right now on my life, but it brings encouragement. It doesn't bring any judgment towards anybody. It doesn't bring any judgment towards man or woman, towards families or at all. If anything, it brings a word of encouragement, a word of uplifting, a word of empowering our families and building strong families and bringing unity and love and support in our families. And that is a big deal for me. That is important to me. And so this video is going to be about celebrating our fathers. You know, we talk about deadbeat dads, deadbeat fathers, the ones that were never around, the ones that left us, the ones that rejected us or abandoned us emotionally, physically. We talk about that a lot. You hear about that a lot, but you really don't hear much about really the good fathers, the good dads, or the father figures, or the father figures who were the grandfathers or the uncles, or the brothers that had to take the responsibility of being a father, and had to fill in the gap of where the father left off in the child's life. So I want to talk about celebrating and honoring our fathers. As you know, Father's Day is Sunday, June 16th. And we tend to put a lot of emphasis on our mothers on Mother's Day. And, that's considered a big day, of course. And we should always honor our mothers and our fathers. Regardless of the faults that we see in our parents, they still should be honored and respected and loved. And, it is a good thing to have your parents around, existing. It is a good thing to tell them you love them. Even whatever they have lacked, parents are not perfect. We're not perfect. When you become a parent in life, you respect your parents for what they had to go through in raising you and raising me. We look at things differently when we become parents ourselves. So I just want to give accolades and I want to give honor to fathers around the world, of all cultures, of all races, older fathers, matured fathers, young fathers, that are really setting the tone, setting an example. Even if they didn't have a father in their life, or even if they did have a father presently in their home, or even if they had a father presently in their home, but they were not emotionally present in their lives. There's a difference, because you can have a father in your home, but you may not have a relationship with your father in your home. He may just be existing in that house, but you may not have a relationship with him personally. So there's a difference. And so, but I want to give honor and thanks to the fathers. Thank you so much to the fathers all around the world that spend time with their children. You know, there's a lot of single fathers that people don't talk about that go over and beyond for their children. There are fathers out there who are restricted from seeing their daughters and sons, which is sad, you know, for whatever reason, you know. And I don't want to get into that, because that's, you know, there's so many different factors, and there's so many different relationships between a man and a woman that you know, that relationship fizzled out, but they still have children. And sometimes because of the friction between the relationship of the woman and the man, that causes problems in the child, and that causes problem in sometimes women not allowing their father, the kid's father, to be in their life, because they're, you know, scorned, because they're angry, they're upset. And sometimes they use that, you know, they'll take the child away from the father, sometimes as a way of betrayal, you know, which is sad. And it happens, you know, let's be truthful here. And I'm not trying to bust anybody out or anything, but this is the truth, you know. And it's sad, because you have fathers that really do want to be in their kids' lives, you know, and it's not very common, but it's there. It exists. And I want to thank the fathers that are really trying really hard, even the ones who never really had the guidance of knowing how to be a dad, but they knew that even though my father wasn't in my life, I'm going to be in my kid's life. You know, I'm not going to do what my father or my mother did to me, you know, or the abandonment that I've gone through. You know, I'm going to be in my kid's life, because, you know, this is what I did not get, and this is not what my child is going to suffer. My child isn't going to suffer like I did. So, you know, those fathers that, you know, work all these different jobs, you know, and they take care of their kids, but they still make time. Get it? Time. The kid doesn't care about your money. They just want your time, you know. And it's so important to create moments in a child's life, because let me tell you something. When these kids get older, they're going to remember. I don't care how young they are. What you instill in these kids, they will not forget. I was a kid that never forgot. Sometimes I wonder, how do I have great long-term memory? I can remember things for so long ago. But when you ask me, what do I remember last week, you know, it becomes a little challenging for me sometimes. But anyway, we're not going to get on that. But anyway, the father that's in the child's life, the father that spends time helping with homework, the father that actually takes the kid to the playground, the fathers that change those dirty diapers, that don't complain, the fathers that wake up in the middle of the night to see about that baby that's crying, the fathers that make those bottles, you know, the fathers that still work these jobs but still take care of what they got. They take care of their kids. I say thank you. You are appreciated. You may not be appreciated by whomever, but I say thank you. You know, I'm thankful that my husband is in my children's lives, my daughters. I'm thankful for that. He's a great father, and he supports them greatly in many different ways. And, you know, I didn't receive the father, you know, bond that I would have liked to have as a little girl growing up. But that's okay, because I do have my father in my life, you know, and I have forgiven my dad, and we are in a better relationship than we've ever been. And, you know, sometimes we have to not dwell on what we have lacked, but just dwell on what you can build. Dwell on the present, not look back at the past, and not allow the past to forfeit and keep you from being blessed in your present life and in your future. Live in the present. Live in the current day. Live in what's beneath what's in front of you right now, and not, you know, being self-pity over what you did not have or what you could have had. Just be thankful for what you have now. And be thankful that if you did not have a father in your life, be thankful that, you know, God allowed you to be able to have the strength and the courage to get through that rough road in your life, the rough mountains that you had to face. Because God is a God of grace, full of grace and full of mercy. But again, it's not about me. It's about the fathers. And June 16th is Father's Day. So just in case you forgot, let's give our fathers a big thank you. You know, give that uncle, that brother, you know, that stepdad, those men, that neighbor, whomever, the teachers that are men that are great role models in these kids' lives, even in sports. Even in sports, these fathers who haven't been in their kids' lives, but you got some men who have just, they take the torch and they're like, you know what? I'm going to be in this kid's life. They've great role models. This kid doesn't have a father in his life. I'm going to help groom him. I'm going to give him proper guidance of what a man should be and what a real man is. Therefore, the kid, the son, doesn't have to look for the streets to teach him how to become a man. He doesn't know. He's not conditioned by society. He's not conditioned by his culture. He's not conditioned by what he sees that could be negative perceptions of how women should be treated. You know, therefore his dreams and his goals and his accomplishments, things in life that he would like to have, are not tarnished by the perception of the false notion and the perception of what he sees, which is what he believes how a father should be, or how a man should treat a woman, you know, or being arrogant, or feeling like the world should bow down to him, or feeling self-entitlement that the world moves at the beat of his drum. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say thank you, fathers that have stood in the gap for those fathers who were not around, for those fathers who are not around and that who don't plan on coming back to their kids. Thank you, fathers who will step up to the plate and become a father to a fatherless child, because these kids don't ask to be here. And I say thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is what my this is what my Instagram page is all about. I have been posting on there. It's an empowerment for me. It's passionate for me. I have to be driven by what I'm passionate about, what makes me feel that there's a call to action. There's a call to action on our society of children who are without parents, and not just without fathers. There are some kids without their mothers. They don't have their mothers. Their fathers or mothers might be locked up in prison, and they are hurting for their dads and moms. They're being raised by other family members, but it's nothing like that mother and fatherly love. But thankfully, there are kids getting the love, but they are still deep down inside wishing that their own mother and father biologically could be in their lives. And so my page is on Instagram. You can look for me at Daddy's Daughters. Daddy's is spelled Daddies. Daughters, Daughters, is all one word. Look for me, Daddy's Daughters, on Instagram. You can find me there. You can support my page. It is an outreach. It's an empowerment. It's an inspiration. It's transparent. It encourages the lives of the women who have been without their fathers. It's transparent. And it gives many messages, not only for celebrating the lives of fathers, but this is also to encourage the fathers who are not around to start becoming a part of your child's life. This is what is all about. This is what we are facing. This is a crisis, not in just America. This is all over the globe. This is nationwide. This is internationally. There are fathers out there that are not in the kids' life, and most times it's not because they don't want to be. Sometimes it's so many different factors and cases in our society, from a cultural, from a political, from a religious standpoint, as to why they're not in their child's life. So it is not me to judge as to why they shouldn't be in there with their kid, their child. But it's just letting the world know this is a problem we have in our society, and what it causes, and the impacts of what it does to us individually as people, as women, as men, growing up in society, the effects that it has on us mentally, on us physically, on us emotionally and spiritually. These are effects that are greatly impacted, and it influences how we see things in life. And it will affect you even if you don't even expect or realize that it is affecting you. It will affect you as you get older, when you are lacking what you really need in life, because sometimes you don't learn these things until you're older. And sometimes it can bring on different forms of deficiencies that can cause toxic behaviors in the later life. And it destroys families as far as the unfortunate outcomes. And that is why this is so meaningful to me. I thank you for those that do follow me on my Instagram page. And I thank you for those who are following me on my YouTube channel. Once again, this has been a very passionate situation, topic for me. I do plan on doing more about this. It's an outreach for me. It's an outreach for me to bring encouragement to the women who are suffering, to men who are hurting. It is very transparent to celebrate the lives of the fathers. It is very transparent to allow women to know who they are, who give them identity in the loss of a man because they've lacked the love from their dad. So this is very empowering for me. And I am truly thankful that you have taken the time out to watch my videos, because my page, my videos, this is all in the makings of something major. Something big is coming. And as I said before, I'm currently writing a book, and I will be releasing my book very soon. And I'm thankful to God who for giving me the courage to come forth and to speak on these things. This is something that I've never done. I've never been able to speak openly about this, yet alone speak it openly to the public. So I thank you, and pray for me as I continue to pray for you. You have a wonderful day.